Okay, I saw some lovely coaching out there. Good job. As you can see, all you need to do is to follow the script. Now, Richard Bandler, one of the co-founders of NLP, he said, only stupid people can't follow instructions. So what's really important is in the next section where I'm going to be teaching you some more content and some more ideas, what's really important is that you just follow the instructions. So stop. Don't do this. When we go through the next section of the training, I'm going to be teaching you the scripts on how to discover the root cause and how to use negative emotions, number one. Now, what 99% of the people start to do at this stage, they start to go, I wonder what my root cause is. Now, if you're thinking that, you're trying to do it consciously. So stop. What I want you to do is to have the discipline of mind just to read the script at this stage. And if your mind starts to trying to figure out what it is, just stop yourself. Because if you start to do that, then you'll confuse yourself. This process is not a conscious process. It's an unconscious process. So do that and everything will be okay. So we're now going to learn about discovering the root cause. Now, remember that Western medicine focuses on symptomology, but Chinese medicine focuses on the root cause. Western medicine treats pains and the symptoms, while Chinese medicine treats disease patterns that have manifested over time. Now, what we know today with research, more than 86% of diseases are psychosomatic in nature. It's where your mind actually makes your body sick. It's when that toxic stress makes the body sick. So remember, the Chinese have been using this approach to get to the root cause, and they've been doing it for thousands of years with great success. Now, in timeline therapy, we focus on the root cause of painful memories, and we do it in 3 time periods: before, during, and after birth. And what we're always doing is we're always looking for the very first event. We're looking for the start of the gestalt. So in timeline therapy, we are giving clients options to discover their root cause and to help them heal by focusing on what happened in their lives before they became adults. So remember this quote here. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to one who is striking at the root. Has anybody got a garden at their house? Anybody have a garden? Now, over time, gardens get weeds. What happens if you just cut the top of the weeds off? Do the weeds disappear or do they grow back? They grow back, don't they? Now, what if you pull the weeds out and you pull all the roots out as well? What happens? They don't come back, do they? They die. So our goal is to pull out the root cause, not just to take a little chop off the top. We're going to pull out the whole root. So let's explore this. Please open up to page number 13. On page 13, we have a script to discover the root cause. Now, of course, you're not going to try to do it consciously at the moment. All we're going to do is just become familiar with the script. And this is really important. So I'm going to do a read through of the script. At the top here, it has the location of the timeline. It also has the 3 developmental periods. The root cause is always going to be in the imprint period, which is the first 7 years. There's going to be significant emotional events, but they're going to be more after age 7 all the way up to now. Now, below the diagram where the gestalt is, there's a note. And the note says this section is done before the client is above the timeline, because it increases unconscious trust and cooperation. Now, for a lot of you, just like the first time I learned timeline therapy, I had been very consciously aware, but I'd never worked with my unconscious mind. So for you, you're going to now start to learn to use your conscious mind in connection with your unconscious mind. So let's begin. Number 1, we're going to ask the client, is it all right for your unconscious mind for you to release this emotion today and for you to be aware of it consciously? And what we want is we want the client to say yes. And they want to give you a really good yes, like, yes, I'm ready to let it go. Second, we want to find the first event. We'll ask the client, what is the root cause of this problem? The first event, which when disconnected, will cause the problem to disappear. If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth? Now, the client is going to give us an answer that is top of the mind, tip of the tongue, the first thing that comes to the mind. And then they're going to give us one of 3 responses. If the client says before, we will ask the client, was it in the womb or before? If the client says it was in the womb, we will ask what month. If the client says before, we will ask, was it in a past life or passed down to you genealogically? If the client says it was a past life, we'll ask them how many lifetimes ago, and they'll give us a number. If they say genealogical, we'll ask how many generations ago. And if they say after, we'll ask them, if you were to know, what age were you? And remember, we're always looking for that response in the first 0 to 7 years of their life. Now, we're going to practice this in a moment, but I don't want you to think consciously about your root cause. There's a couple of other things we're going to learn. What I want you to do at this stage is just to practice reading the script. Does that make sense? We're just going to practice reading the script. That's all I want you to do at this stage. So this is going to be the scenario. Where's Jesse? When you're ready, Jesse, you and I are going to practice this together. Now, in this scenario, of course, I'm going to give this to Jesse just for practice. I'm going to read through the script on page 13, and all I want Jesse to do is to respond like this. I'm going to ask Jesse, was it before, during, or after birth? And Jesse's going to say before. I'll then ask her, was it in the womb or before? And she's going to say before. I'm going to ask, was it in a past life or passed down to you genealogically? And she's going to say past life. Then I'll ask her how many lifetimes ago? And she's going to say 3. Okay. Now, the reason why I want Jesse to do that is that I don't want us to be practicing looking for our own root cause. I just want everybody to have the opportunity to run the script. How does that sound? Sound good? Okay. Everybody else can follow along on page 13, and Jesse and I will do this together. So, Jesse, are you ready to go?
Yes, Danielle.
Excellent. Is it all right for your unconscious mind for you to release this emotion today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Yes.
Excellent. What is the root cause of this problem? The first event, which when disconnected will cause the problem to disappear. If you were to know, was it before, during, or after your birth?
Before.
Was it in the womb or before?
Before.
Was it in a past life or passed down to you genealogically?
Past life.
And how many lifetimes ago?
3.
Excellent. Well done. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So all I want you to do is I want you just to practice with this scenario just here, and we all want to practice the same scenario. Later on, when it comes to removing the root cause, we will do it for real. This is just the practice session. Does that make sense?